Hello, I wanted to talk to you a little bit about dahlia tubers and what to expect for a sale. So I will have an online dahlia tuber sale. And if you've never grown dahlias before, you can grow them from a seed. If you buy dahlia seed packets, you don't know what you're going to get because they crossbreed. And that's how new dahlias are bred, is through cross-pollination and saving the seeds. But there's a dominant trait that's an open pollen in the middle, like open center dahlia. And those aren't my favorite. They don't last as long in the vase, but the bees love them. So you can grow dahlias from seed, but just expect a lot of them to have that open center. When there's a dahlia tuber sale, a tuber is like a little potato. So I have a tuber here. They come in all shapes and sizes. And the small ones produce just as well as the big ones. The size is not what really matters. The thing that really matters is if you can find an eye. So I'll zoom in and see if we can find this eye. It's going to be hard to see on here, but there's an eye right there. And sometimes they look purple, sometimes they look kind of white. They are difficult to find, but if there's a viable eye, that's where the plant grows from. And when you receive your tubers, you're gonna want to check for that eye. If you can't find it, you can always take a picture and send it back to whoever you bought that tuber from, and they might be able to point it out. But you're gonna need an eye on your tuber for the plant to grow. When you buy a dahlia tuber, the plant that comes from the tuber is always true to form that the mother plant looked like. So that's why people sell dahlia tubers and not so much the seeds, because the seeds are unpredictable, and you could save seeds from this beautiful like baby pink full multi-petal dahlia, and you'd get this crappy bright red open center dahlia with like 4 petals on it. You just never know. So that's why people sell tubers, so that the consumer knows what they're getting. And the seller can feel good about it because they know you're going to get a quality product. It has an eye on it. Before they go out, we always check that there's an eye on it, and we want you to have success. When you plant this in the ground, you plant it sideways. The plant grows from the eye up, and over the course of about 120 days, it doesn't matter down to the perfect day, but at least 120 days later, you can dig it up and divide. And generally when I dig up a tuber clump, I'm pretty disappointed if there's only like 3 there, but it's very frequent that I'll get at least 6 to 10 viable tubers from just planting one, which is really cool. So that's why we have tuber sales also, because what started as 50 dahlias, I dug up and then, divided, and I don't know how many dahlias I have now, but I'm guessing underground there's way too many tubers to deal with. So I like to dig them every couple of years and divide. You don't have to dig them up. You don't have to divide them. But as with any plant, they like to have room to grow, and they don't want to be overcrowded. And so if you leave the tubers there year after year, you might see that the plant is not as like vigorous as it used to be, or not putting on as many blooms. So you might want to dig them up and divide them and see what happens next. But dahlias are a summer flower. I leave them in the ground over winter. All my tubers, except for these ones, are still in the ground. And I will dig them up in February or so just to see how they're doing and get a better idea of how many I have available for sale. And then the sale will be March 1st this year in 2025. But generally right in that early springtime is when I'm able to put tubers in the shop, and then I send them out early April so that you can plant them out whatever your zone is safely, and then they grow all summer long. Hope this helps. If you have any other questions about dahlia tubers or what to expect, my sale will be all online, not in person this year, but I'm really hoping to figure out how I can make it in person next year.